This is an analysis of the 2015-2016 collision campaign. The effective message strategy was designed to shift the target consumer's attitude on the university's research capacities, tapping into the key insight that the target audience is globally minded, motivated, and cause-driven, but subconsciously self-orientated. A one-sided, visually based message was developed. The enduring big idea of the ongoing campaign was presenting research as an opportunity to facilitate modern global change in a distinguished and peer-approved environment. A highly educated female who is 20-something years old from Victoria encompasses the demographic and geographic factors of the target market. Highly innovative and motivated, she continuously seeks opportunities for further education. She desires a sense of belonging and wishes to save the world. The University of Melbourne was positioned in the consumer's mind as a highly respected but elitist undergraduate institution that thrives on snobbery. The campaign had to develop perception of its postgraduate attributes as well as position itself as non-elitist, as this concept did not correlate with the target market's desire for peer approval. Furthermore, it had to persuade the consumer that, like its competitors, it was a modern university for innovative students, as the target market does not care about longevity and cares more about attributes than image. The university was positioned as a modern, inclusive, group-orientated, and research-focused setting by the campaign developing a model student who is young, female, and intellectual, who is psychographically motivated to save the world. Targeting a well-educated market, the ad does not draw explicit conclusions. OBC should be established to develop a sense of belonging, allowing the target audience to interact with current staff, students, and alumni, known as insiders. The target consumer seeks detailed information about their various options, and the campaign does not provide them with enough rational information. The effective approach does connect with the psychological aspects of the target consumer, pursuing the effective feeler sector of the footnote and building grid. However, it does not satisfy the other high involvement segment, the informative thinker. In addition to the effective campaign, specialist elements with a rational approach should be introduced for these information seekers. The campaign's success can be evaluated by measuring the effectiveness of the advertising and IMC objectives. An AOS can establish what objectives are required before implementation. With an AOS score of approximately 0.75, Colley's Dagmar approach recommends an objective to increase use. The main objective of the campaign was to improve public perception of the research facilities, or to increase the use of the research facilities. The objectives could also be analysed through tracking studies, post-campaign field testing on consumer conviction, or ROCI, which would allow the evaluation on monetary, statistical, attitudinal, and consumer behaviour data. It takes advantage of the inherent drama by using highly visual images to portray research benefits. It implements this emotional appeal by leaning heavily on semiotics, using the symbolism of a skull, waves, and a tree. Dramatisation is also used, telling the story of the focal student joining the University of Melbourne's research, beginning with her identification that she has potential, to the rising action of her joining the group and the resolution where the product identification takes place. The campaign also demonstrates the product in use and adds credibility with a typical person, as real Bachelor of Fine Arts students perform in the production. The appeal was appropriate for the target consumer and utilised the key insight. It directly developed the themes of collaboration and belonging. Using brand user imagery congruity, the consumer perceived that they are similar to the student. The campaign leans on semiotics to create multiple layers of conscious and subconscious meaning. Voiceover allows for the consumer to hear the vocabulary is formal, professional, and serious in tone, allowing the university to be interpreted as respected and knowledgeable. Other audio elements can be associated with innovation and develop the creative dimension of novelty. The visual creative tactics symbolically demonstrate collaboration. The semiotic symbol of a tree represented environmentalism, appealing to the target market's desire to collaborate and save the world. There are not many improvements, but the logo should be shown at the start of the ad, as currently the University of Melbourne will not be associated until the very last frame. Also, the dramatic execution overwhelms the message about the research facilities, so more prompts must be placed in the copy. The campaign correlates with 3 out of 4 dimensions of creativity, but does not include any humour, which could increase recall. The campaign was delivered over various personal and non-personal media channels, including television, out-of-home, and social media vehicles. Target market are concentrated groups. The mood of innovation is carried throughout social media vehicles, but mass media vehicles were not appropriate as widespread reach was not required. Television has attention limitations, which are increased by the target market using technology such as checking their phones as a means of advertising avoidance. They prefer the internet as their main source of entertainment, thus social media is a highly compatible channel. 51% of consumers find brands being on social social media improves the brand image. However, 24% of the target market use ad blocking software. Cinema advertising has higher frequency and 6 times more higher recall than television, but is 20% more expensive. It is recommended they focus on frequency rather than reach over too many vehicles. They should implement a pulsing method during the application and enrollment periods. Pursuing digital media channels and cinema advertising would decline waste coverage and improve exposure frequency. They should take advantage of social media, native advertising, and word-of-mouth coverage via consumer forums.